How about them Cowboys?
Why do you have a Wizards hat on?
It's a cowboy hat, you doofus. It's a cowboy hat. I got crushed on the plane on the way back from greatest city ever. There we go. All right, take off the hat. So I put on the headphones. There we go. And of course, we got the boys. Got the rally gnome. And the championship. List all the different championships. How many rings does your team have? Wait, what the hell are you wearing?
Redskins jersey.
Nice. Okay, nice. So you're back on the Washington bandwagon, are we?
No.
It's okay. We're going to talk about that. Crow Resin finally gets to catch the start of the show. 31 episodes in, he finally gets to watch gets to watch the beginning of the episode, since he's, it starts at, when he's still in his pajamas, sleeping sound away. Bruce Campbell is here. Yes, prime time. That's right. We're in prime time now, Bruce Campbell. We are in prime time. Same show. Same awesomeness.
See your reflections in the mug.
No coffee.
What are you drinking? Is that like hibiscus juice or something? What is it?
Hot apple cider. It's the fall. Hot apple cider.
Jeff, we actually bought some apple cider today, but ours is cold, not hot.
Well, mine is cold too. I'm warming. It doesn't come out of the apple. It doesn't come out of the apple hot. It's in the refrigerator.
It depends on what you're using to press it, I guess.
So mine is cold too. It sits in the fridge. I just turn it into hot apple cider. So there you go. Sierra Rose is here. She gets to catch the show. She's usually working. So there we go. How was your week?
Well, Jeff, we didn't do our show Saturday morning. So what did you do instead?
Oh, it was awesome.
It was awesome because we didn't do the show. Thanks, man.
There was a huge community garage sale. And when I say huge, I mean multiple streets, like 80 houses or something stupid. But it was really just there was really nothing. Well, I shouldn't say that. There was nothing for me. There was lots of stuff. If you had a young child, you were going to go nuts because there were lots of toys. There was lots of clothes. If you had a lot of infants, a lot of people, a lot of stuff like that, a lot of crafts, a lot of kids had, little kids. Oh, whatever I did with that. I think it's still in the car. Oh, shit. They had little lemonade stands and little baked good stands set up and this and that. And I ran into a famous person.
Wow.
I ran into huge Twitch. Oh.
I was going to say it's a streamer.
Huge Twitch streamer. Oh, Sierra Rose, you would have gone crazy. A lot of women's clothes. Nothing really suit my style. So, but yeah, I ran into a huge Twitch streamer, Oliver. I posted a picture.
My favorite streamer.
I posted a picture of Oliver and I hanging out together. Yeah. I didn't set out to find them. I was just basically just driving up. It was on so many streets. I was just driving up and down every street, and I turned the corner, and there they were. So I jumped out, and famous Twitch.
Did he have an armful of Skylanders? Like
he did not. He had other stuff. No, he was getting out. No, Jim said he was going to go look for Skylanders, but in the tooling around I did for a few hours. Sometimes I just kind of.
How many more do they need to collect? My goodness.
They don't have them all. And he's also now, I think, he's looking for the Disney Infinity stuff too.
Disney Infinity was cool. I think it was too late though. I think Skylanders already had the market.
Yeah, so. That could be. Oh, that could be. Oh, I'm falling down.
That's cool.
I'm way behind.
Well, I'm glad you got to go do that. I went for a 22-mile bike ride and got lost in the woods.
Nice.
So could have been worse.
Could have
made it back. I made it back. And then today you can't see my sign over here right now.
If the Cowboys lost, I probably wouldn't be here.
But my sign says that it's a happy anniversary to my wife. Today's our 18th wedding anniversary. So had a lovely dinner this evening. It was great.
Crow, these young guys, they do stuff for their anniversary.
It's my bet. That's my roll dog, man. That's my best buddy. So gotta take care of her.
Crow and I are just like, anniversary 18. We're lapping you. We're lapping you. We're lapping you and then some. And Crow and I are
You're also twice my age, Jeff. So
at least. At least.
Thank you, Sierra.
Wish I could teleport. Yeah, you would have had a ball. It's funny though. The part of town, it's an older part of town, so the streets were very small, and there were a lot of cars parked. So like only one car could go at a time, and there was a couple of times cars were going by, and I'm like, "You gonna squeeze through there?" But yeah. They had. Cool you like to look for books and garage sale. Yeah, they had a lot of books, a lot of books, a lot of. This one place.
Do they do the community book racks where you live, Jeff?
Yeah.
Where like you can donate books and people can go take them from the little cases.
Yeah, they have the little display. Yeah. There's many in our many in our neighborhood.
Do they do the rock thing too, where they hide rocks? Like people paint rocks and they hide them, and if you find them,
in my old town, we did. There's a lot of
painted rocks. It's good for the kids. Like the libraries usually get involved with that stuff. Yeah,
that's right. So, that's right.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, it was a very good one. 18 down, and I don't know how many more she's going to keep me around for, Jeff, but I'm counting the days. Two more years. Get me to 20, and that's it. And then she's going to find some hot stud.
Well, 20, then the life sentence is over, right? So 20 years. That's
you got to get past 10. Once you
get released on good behavior.
10, it's different.
You had one, but the city made you take it down? Oh.
That's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, you
was
Americans,
it getting vandalized, or were people putting bad things in there?
You Americans and your books. You guys just don't like books, do you? You guys, there's certain books, there's certain things that you guys just. I'm now stereotyping all of Americans as bad book people, but
you are.
I am. But again, that's all I hear on the Canadian news is like in Florida, the school had to remove all the books because
Yeah, but Florida's like a different country.
Because they said there was a war in 1812, which everyone knows there wasn't, and they put books about it, so they had to remove it.
Everything's different in Florida and California,
Texas. They burn books.
And Texas,
I don't know if they still do. That's Cali. If they still burn books in Texas.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, Americans love.
It's a good little program.
There's just some people that don't like books. And they remove them out.
Yeah.
It is. It's cool. I'd
rather play an RPG and read the screen than read a book.
Well, there you go. So I don't like. That's why I don't like watching.
I mean, I don't mind reading, but
that's why I don't like watching. That's why I never watched Squid Games, because if I watched it in Korean or wherever it was held, I'd have to read it. I hate going.
Listen to it dubbed over.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
I
think they're better than that now. I think they're better than that.
They are.
Yeah, I think they're way better than they were back in the Bruce.
I'm thinking of the Kung Fu movies from the 80s
or 70s. I think they've gotten a lot better. AI can do a whole lot better now. So, anyways, why are we here? This is Coffee Talk. Actually, Big Mac said that to me. He goes, "You're able to go out and do shit because you didn't have your show to do." I said, "I know. I was out the door at 8:30."
There you go. Right.
Great.
That's the way my wife felt.
I was out. And I was actually at Jim's at 11. I stopped by, saw Gingerhead Dad, Jim, at 11, and I'm like, dude, I'm usually finishing a show about now. He goes, yeah.
Well, this is late East Coast, but it's
perfect
time of year, especially with it being football. You're up. You're watching the game anyway, right?
I am.
Gives us a chance to talk about that and really everything that happened throughout the week that we've done before, because we used to miss out on a lot of stuff, and then by the time we get back next Saturday morning, we hadn't. Football was a week ago. So why do we want to talk about that? So
exactly.
And we like talking about football. So it's a good time slot. We'll see.
And look, Sierra Rose joined us. Bruce was able to join us. Normally Crow was here at the start of the show. Usually he rolls in halfway through.
I know.
So that's
I know. And if Purple wasn't feeling ill, I'm sure she'd be here too.
Right.
So.
Shout out to Purple. She didn't do her show tonight. She is still under the weather. So hopefully she recovers and gets back to. And of course, SPG, our prayers are still with him. Apparently, he's just rocking and rolling it.
That's what he was saying.
He's rocking and rolling it. He's gaming. He's
the man.
He's back doing shows. He's not going to do his own show, but he's been guesting, which is fun. Let's work the guest.
Okay. He's got to build up the stamina again, and he's got a backlog of stuff to play now. So
That's true.
Know. Not that he probably didn't have it before, but
all right. So as part of
lost time.
As part of the date and time change, but no name change, we got a funny new little graphic which we like.
Yeah, take it up a notch. Take it up a notch.
New
yes, it's coffee talk, but no, we don't really talk about coffee. It's just what we talk about while we're having coffee, right? So just having hot apple cider instead, whatever. But
it's still a hot deal. It's still a hot drink. Still a hot drink.
So we've got to talk. We've got to talk NFL, Jeff. Right? We've got to talk NFL. It's week 2. It's still going on right now. So here we go. Week 2 NFL action. We've got a little discussion here. A topic that I've brought up: should grown men or women love sports teams? We'll get into that a little bit because I know you've got a very opinionated view on this subject.
True that.
We've got our post of the week. We've got our Did You Hear About section.
True.
And then we have our 5 guesses. And Jeff...
You're giving me something tonight.
I am giving... Well,
and I have no idea. At least last week I told you we were doing a draft, but you didn't know what we were drafting.
I didn't tell you what we were doing today.
No, I have no idea what's going on tonight. So...
Well, you'll get to find out soon enough, and then you'll get to take all of this stuff and do what you normally do.
Which I didn't do last week.
Because we're still here.
We are.
With Wondershare and Filmora.
Yep.
You've been slacking, Jeff.
I have. I know. Since I've been ill and then I'm behind on some real work. So love the agenda. Do you think it will keep you on topic? I have my doubts. There you go.
We'll figure it out as we go. But
there you go.
It is all good, and we're going to stay on the desk here and go to topic number 1, which is NFL Week 2. And Jeff, you've been sitting there in the command center all day watching just about every single game that you could. What was your takeaways from today?
Oh, don't know what's going on in Cincinnati. Don't know what's going on in Baltimore. I was high on Atlanta, and I'd like to see them at 2-0. I got some other takes, but we're going to talk about that in the post of the week. So it's at that interesting point where some teams are going to be 0-2, like the Bengals. A lot of teams are going to be 1-1. So, we're starting to see, starting to shake it out. Who's going to be good, who's going to be bad, what's going to be happening.
Yep.
Everyone thought the Chargers were going to be a top-notch team, but who knows? The Lions 1-1. Baker Mayfield has Tampa Bay 2-0, basically the same team Tom Brady had last year. What does that say about Tom Brady? Baker Mayfield better than Tom Brady, maybe? Who knows?
That's a stretch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of question marks. Justin Fields, he was an MVP candidate coming in, hasn't looked very good, but the Bears are 0-2. But yet on the other side in that division, you've got Jordan Love, who looks really good.
Well, they lost today.
Looks like he's definitely, they did on that last second field goal, but he looks like he's got good command of the team, good command of the offense, looks better than some, but you can tell he's been sitting for 3 years, right? Commanders eked out a win against the Broncos, which we'll take a little closer look here in a little bit. That was kind of a nail biter down there to the end.
It was.
But yeah, the Giants, man, the Giants had the comeback of the day. Weren't they down like 17-0
or something?
It even went a little bit more than that. And then they came roaring back in the second half. So they squeaked out on a field goal in the last minutes.
It was on at the same time as the Cowboy game, and I actually sat in the living room with my son, son/sports producer / Jets fan. So him and I sat in the living room together watching the game, and he had Red Zone on, so we were kind of going back and forth. And I looked over him at one point, and I said, "Do you think the Giants will go 2 games without scoring any points?" And then after that, they started scoring points in boatloads. So he said I should have kept my mouth shut. I said something, then I jinxed it. So
it just goes to show you the swing that can happen in an NFL game with these teams that can make these massive comebacks after a little. I mean, we'll talk about it later on, but even the college games yesterday, right? One in particular came, very close to not ending the way it did. So
correct.
A lot of things. It's hard to get too far ahead. It's only 2 games in the season. There's a long way to go. Yeah, the poor Jets, right? Yeah, they considering the Cowboys beat the Giants 40-0 last week, 30-10 is a little bit better.
Yep.
But Aaron Rodgers, man, brutal injury.
But you know what?
I tell you,
but hold on. He said he is going to be back. Was it Austin Eckler had the same Achilles, and he came back within 5 months. 5 months today. What happens in 5 months today? It'll be the Super Bowl. So I said that to my son, and he goes, "Really?" He goes, "So if we get all the way to the Super Bowl, are the Jets gonna start Aaron Rodgers if Zach Wilson gets to the Super Bowl?" And I said, "Well, that's what Buffalo did? They got Doug Flutie, got him all the way to the Super Bowl, and they started Brad Johnson. So why, So, so yeah." Some really good college football games yesterday. Crow messaged me at one point. He goes, "What's going on with the Alabama game?" And I was with my dad, and I kind of quickly flipped over because we were watching the Blue Jays in overtime, extra innings. Sorry. And it looks. I never looked. Did you ever find out what happened? Did they ever say what happened? But the camera angle was it's like they had like 3 cameras. Like they were going with a wide shot, and then they'd have like a couple other shots, and they didn't have all the camera work that they usually have, at least in the parts of the game that Crow and I were watching. So I don't know if they fixed that or if there were some technical issues with that. But yeah, it was kind of funny. Crow messaged me. He goes, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't know. I don't know their life."
Well, I know there's a topic in here that you'll be passionate about later, and that's Josh Allen. Josh Allen turned it around today for the Bills.
Sure that.
Dolphins up on the Patriots at halftime, scored right before the half, got a touchdown, and then again, you got the doubleheader tomorrow night. You get one of those early season Monday night doubleheaders. So more to play. But there was the end of this game here, and as you can see, Russell Wilson dropping back there on the left, takes a huge Hail Mary, 60-yard throw. All the way down to the goal line. It's
bing.
Bam, there you go, right? Touchdown. So now we're 2-point conversion away from tying the game, and then on that ensuing 2-point conversion, bonk. Now, if you slow this down, you go back to it. You were saying it earlier. It could very well have been called pass interference. I saw a lot of egregious calls today throughout the NFL. You had the Seahawks call there on the intentional grounding. There was a hit that had happened in the Kansas City game on a pass. I think it was Zay Jones out of the backfield off the left side, or not out of the backfield, but he was lined up on the left in the receiver spot. But
I think
he had gotten kind of like pulled and turned around, like as the pass went over his head, and they didn't call pass interference. Like you see this stuff, right? It doesn't get called. But when the game comes down to the line like that, wow.
Yeah. Sorry. There was another hit. I saw the NFL is going to actually review it to see if he should be fined and disciplined, because again, the second week in a row he's made a bad had hit. So is there going to be additional punishment to that guy? I just saw that scroll by my screen as we jumped on here. But yeah, if you slow it down, bang bang, it looks, at the time I was making the throw the flag. I was like, oh come on, clearly, and they slowed it down. I'm like, yeah. But blocked. Oh, the Patriots blocked the field goal. Oh, the Patriots blocked the field goal.
I can't tell you what's happening because I'm ahead of you. So
you're still ahead of me?
Out of the corner of my eye. Like before we went live, I had told Jeff that Miami scored. He goes, "Thanks for ruining it, man," because I was like 10 seconds ahead.
I am. I'm like 10 or 11 seconds behind Canada. Canada. I guess I should have switched it off the network to the zone, and I would have been. I probably would have been more real time-ish with you. But,
no, you're good. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Block field goal. So coming back the other way now.
But
so there's a lot of games that ended. Obviously, the Giants getting back in the win column, so that puts
Purple
the
Haze,
NFC East at 7-1.
Hope you're feeling
Purple
well.
Haze.
Hope you're feeling better. Thank you for the shout out on your community tab. Yes, look at that NFC East. This is the same division that sent 3 teams to the playoffs last year. Those, 3 teams,
and the same division that the Washington football team won the division at 7-9 or 8-8 a couple years ago. Whatever that was. So interesting. So all right. Well, more NFL for week 2 coming up. This next little segment here is just kind of a discussion. Yep. It's still going to kind of evolve around football, but it could really go to any sport. And that is going to be this question that pops up right here. Should grown men or women love sports teams? Now, before you go, Jeff, hold on. Let me elaborate a little bit. Love can be construed in many different ways, especially when you talk about a team, right? You can talk about the passion that you have for the team. You can talk about, the fanatic side of loving a team, right? It's just that over the top connection that you have with that team. And should a grown man or a woman really be concerning themselves emotionally with what goes on in a game? And I'll let you go now, Jeff.
Before the Sunday before the season started, or maybe it was even the Thursday, I saw a lot of TikToks from women saying, now for the next 4 months, my husband has to get emotionally involved in some team that doesn't even know he exists, or something along those lines, right? Because, that sort of thing. That also being said, now you're saying the team as opposed to the players, or
I'm saying that, the team itself, right? Because to expand a little bit more, right? Like you invest in the team when you're a fan of a team, right? You buy gear, you go to games, you watch everything. Like you're invested. It's like a relationship. That's where I'm going with this. Yes.
Correct. You know who bugs me is the people who change their favorite team depending on who's winning. So, I'll talk to someone. They're like, "Oh, I'm a Seattle fan." Why? Well, because they're winning and they're winning the Super Bowl. What are you going to do when they're not winning the Super Bowl? Oh, I'll switch teams. So there are a lot of 20-somethings who don't know the Patriots as losers. They only ever knew the Patriots as winners. So when they say, "Oh, a Patriots fan," I go, "What are you going to do for the next 20 years when they're not winning?" Huh? What do you mean? Well, because they don't have Tom Brady anymore. They're not going to be winning. It's going to be, you're going to, find another team. So those are the people that I dislike. But that being said, you know what I do when a player leaves my team? I unfollow them on social media. I unfollow Noah Brown.
Unfollow them.
Noah Brown left. Unfollow.
So for you, it's more the loyalty to the team than it is to the players on the team.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. That is correct.
I asked this question, and now that you've kind of given a little bit of peace of mind about it, I'll elaborate a little bit more. I asked this question because my best friend in the whole wide world, best man at my wedding, he is the closest thing that I have to a brother. We were talking the other day, and he had asked me, how about the Commandos? That's what he said. He said, "How about them Commandos?" Because the Commanders won, right? And I said, That's all I answered with, it is what it is. And he was like, aren't you happy that they won? And I said, I don't care. And we kind of go back and forth, and he's like, it's still the Skins. And I said, it's not still the Skins to me, right? Because as I'm wearing the jersey here, which you pointed out earlier, I grew up a die-hard Redskins fan. Like I had, when my wife and I got married, the basement of our townhouse was kind of my man cave, and the walls were painted burgundy and the trim was painted gold. Like I obsessed over the Redskins. I had season tickets, went to all the tailgates. I bought everything I could find. I had socks. I had pajamas. I had the foam fingers. I got my little Redskins figurine back here, my little Huddle Redskins figurine from when I was a kid, right? Like legit, I grew up loving the Redskins. And the change in team name for me was just the final straw for me not really caring about it that much anymore, because I started to see kind of the business side of it, and the owner, I have a problem with Dan Snyder and et cetera, et cetera. Sure. I also, it was a hard pill for me to swallow with the name change because of different reasons. Number one being that it was so controversial because it is skewed as a racial term. right? A derogatory term towards Native Americans. And this is a team that I grew up idolizing my whole life, you know? And for the longest time, it was okay. And now all of a sudden it's not okay. It gave me some mixed feelings. It gave me some emotions. And then, you know, you've got all the extra stuff that goes on behind the scenes with the cheerleaders and with all this other stuff. And it's just like, you know what? I'm a dad. I got a girl. I'm a grown ass man. I don't need to be putting my money and my time and my emotion into this when, you know, I've been a big fantasy football guy. You're a big fantasy football guy. You know, we watch other players. You see other players score points. And I became infatuated with Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson, you know, is one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player right now, regardless of all the off-field stuff. I respected the way his game was, right? And so it's like, I wasn't rooting for the Seahawks, or I'm not rooting for the Broncos, but I wanted to see him do good. And it gives me the ability now to see players and enjoy good football versus hating other people because they're on another team. You are an extremely hardcore Dallas Cowboys fan, and that is exactly the way you feel, right? Like, it's Cowboys all the way, do or die. We were talking beforehand. You told me that I'm wearing the Commanders colors. This is a Redskins jersey to me. I'm not a Commanders fan. And your point is, Jeff, about that?
Well, they're the Commanders because, you know, you have the commander-in-chief. And they're based in Washington. The fact that you don't live in Washington, you're like, I don't live there anymore. I don't live in friggin' Dallas. I don't even live in the same damn country. Doesn't matter where you live. There's Cowboy fans all across the country. You know, there's a guy I watch on YouTube, Dave Sturcio. He's from New Jersey, and he's a huge Cowboy fan. He lives in New Jersey, surrounded by Giants and other loser fans. So now you make some interesting points because of the ownership, the scandals. Not that we're completely squeaky clean over here either.
Sure.
Right. But you know, you've had the scandals and you had the bad owner, and which left a bad taste in your mouth, and they changed their names. But you know what? If the Cowboys change their names to something else, the Dallas Tiger Cats, I don't know, making something up, right? Doesn't matter. Yeah. Doesn't matter, right? I would still cheer for that team. You know, it's still the same team, right? You are scarred because of bad ownership and scandals. And a few other and the name change. The name change wasn't totally Dan Snyder's fault. You know.
Well, I mean,
Cleveland in baseball had to change their name.
They did, but like the Braves don't and the Chiefs don't, you know, even though they still use the symbols, and you know, you got the Blackhawks in Chicago. You've got, I mean, there's a lot of things that you could say, right?
Chiefs do this.
Yes,
thing.
Believe me, this is not me trying to defend the term Redskins or anything like that. It goes much deeper for me because it was the team that I grew up with. And I think I've shared this story with you before, but my grandmother was a very big Redskins fan. And so anytime they scored a touchdown, I would call her and we would sing Hail to the Redskins to each other on the phone. That's how I grew up, right? And so when all of that stuff went down, it stopped becoming about the fan base and all of the tradition and all of the history. And it became about other things that I don't want to be a part of anymore, right? And so for me, I'm having a lot of issues with that. The team name Commanders was not voted on by fans or anything like that. Like it was just done to do and hurry up and get it over with, and it just means nothing to me. So for that reason, like I do still pay attention to what they do. My parents still live there. My friends are still really big fans and everything, but I've just moved into this love of the sport and of the league and the players kind of mode, and it's made it more enjoyable for me. But for you, you enjoy it the way you do, and that's totally okay too.
I have two questions. If you were a Cleveland baseball fan with the name change, would you no longer be a Cleveland baseball fan because you're no longer a fan because of the name change with the Commandos?
It's hard to say. It's not just the name change for me, Jeff. That is a big reason. But it's a lot of those things that I just said that kind of like filled that and led up to it. So if Cleveland had like a messy thing and all this stuff, maybe I would. But that wasn't the team I grew up with, so I'm not really sure.
No, I know. I'm just. And my other question, I have now forgotten.
Well, that's all right.
I had a second question.
Guess it wasn't that important.
All along the same. Oh, the voting. So the rumor is that they had a few other better names, but somebody went and registered trademarks for those names.
Yeah, there were 10 trademarks
or something. So there was some rumors. I don't know if that was totally factual. I don't know. I don't know what, where that lies.
Yeah, there was a guy that had like 10 names patented. And one of them, because I tell you, what a lot of fans wanted was the Washington Warriors, because they still could have played off of the, the arrow or the spear, or, whatever. And that would have worked. But there was some things there. And then the one that I heard recently here, which, all due respect to the people, but they want to call them the Washington Red Tails, I think it is, and that's a tribute to the Tuskegee Airmen, who were the first. I hope I get this right. They were the first African American squad, like plane squad, right? But that. And I respect that, and that's great, but that just doesn't have anything to do with Washington. So you pointed out, the commander-in-chief, the commander's like, okay, you can make a link there. I don't know how to make a link for the Tuskegee Airmen. Tuskegee's not in Washington D.C., So sure. And then on top of that, I think it's trying to reverse what you just complained about. So you're trying to take this bad racial thing and flip it over to this good racial thing. Look, I'm neither nor. I don't have a swing in the fight, but it just doesn't. It's just messy, man. I don't want to be a part of it,
Well, now they got new ownership, clean slate.
Yeah, maybe good luck to them. And maybe for my friends and family that live there, it's great, right? There's a lot of excitement for them, and that's what needs to happen. So
and maybe they'll change the name, and maybe they'll ask Ryzak for his input. And
hey, I'm right here. Let me know. I'll tell you everything there is to know about the franchise.
Well, why don't you ring up Josh Harris and say, Josh, let's have a meeting.
Yeah.
And and just hash it out.
Yeah, no. So, just a number on a spreadsheet, Jeff. Just a number on a spreadsheet.
Well, there you go.
Well, that is what it is. All right. Post of the week, Jeff. What did you have for post of the week this week?
So, Emmanuel Ocho, former player, commentator now. I forget where he commentates. Maybe it's on Fox. I don't know where he is. He posted these. He
was on ESPN.
Maybe he's on ESPN. He goes, I speak for all Cowboy fans when I say all national analysts and opinionists better speak loud and clear about Josh Allen's interceptions tomorrow. Josh Allen now has 20 interceptions since opening night 2022. 20. And then he said, I won't lie. You're all right. If Dak threw 3 interceptions to start the season, NFL Twitter will malfunction, and every sports show would do 30 minutes on it every single day. And
that was a follow-up to some of the people commenting on the first one, right?
Correct. And, I asked people, who are your top 5 quarterbacks? And they go, Patrick Mahomes. Oh, he lost his first game. Oh, and he's thrown 2 interceptions. Oh, Josh Allen. Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions, lost a fumble. And then there was whatever that nonsense was in overtime. Oh, well, that was just one game. I said, but the game prior to that, in the playoffs, he did the same thing. And the game prior to that, that was just one game. So, but that was just one game. And then that was just one game. And that's 3 games. Mm-hmm. Oh, my mother's going to be mad. My mother's calling.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know.
Uh-oh.
Probably my dad.
No,
probably my dad.
Oh.
Anyways, so, okay. And then, who else is your top 5? Joe Burrow. Oh, okay. Well, now he's 0-2 and he threw 82 yards in his first game. Well, who else do you got? Oh, I got, whoever. And then, of course, so, what about Dak? Oh, Dak sucks. Well, Dak hasn't thrown an interception. Dak has put up 40 points. Dak did this. Oh, it doesn't matter. That's just one game. Oh, yeah. But look what he did 3 years ago. 3 years ago, but I'm talking about the current. So my point is, and we mentioned this last week, he is the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. And people are going to hate on him. It's no difference. If Patrick Mahomes was the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, people would be hating on Patrick Mahomes. And they would say, he's not a top 5 quarterback, plays with the Cowboys. How can be a top 5 quarterback? It's got to be Josh Allen. Maybe Josh Allen
the Cowboys and the Cowboys and the Patriots right now. I'd say the Patriots now since the Tom Brady thing, right? Before Tom Brady, we didn't talk about the Patriots, but now all of a sudden we do, right? We talk about them as a dynasty. So let's go. Cowboys and Patriots are the two most talked about NFL teams because they're just like the Yankees and the Dodgers, or the Yankees and the Red Sox. They're just like, the Rangers and the Bruins, or the Canadians. And I mean, they're the teams that always are going to bring in conversation because they are controversial, because Jerry Jones has made controversial moves. And he's also had a player like Dion come in that's been able to talk that shit and walk it. You know what I mean? And he's okay with that. Like, he takes chances. And so when he puts himself out there and when he sells his team like a brand, of course they're going to talk about it because it gets clicks, gets views.
It does. That's right. So that's what my only
point is.
But my point is, well, then just treat everybody else the same. Nobody talked about, everyone's like, oh, Josh Allen, great quarterback. But what about this? Oh, it's just one game. Well, what about the games before that? Now you got 3 games in a row where he did the same thing. Does that not set a trend? Oh, he's still a top 5. Dak, he's like 20th. Dak's 20th, but Dak hasn't thrown an interception yet this year. Oh, well, that doesn't matter. Oh, okay. Just want some.
As right as you are, let's be really honest. He really didn't have to do much in that first game. The defense took care of it for him. I was telling you earlier, and I couldn't find it in time, but I saw a tweet the other day that compared Josh Allen to Jared Goff. And Jared Goff is somebody that gets hated on from the standpoint that he's not very good, although he led the Rams to the Super Bowl, right? Just couldn't win it. He gets shipped to Detroit, he's got a jacked up arm. Like, there's all this stuff that comes out about him, and he's done nothing but help them stay competitive and turn the franchise around. Right. And so if I'm not mistaken, Jeff, and I missed it and I should have looked it up, and I'm putting this together from little bits and pieces that I remember from the past couple of weeks, but I think today was Jared Goff's first interception in almost his last 400 or 500 pass attempts, something like that.
It could be.
So, there's things out there that go on for these guys, but they don't have the sexy, 350 and 4 touchdowns every week.
Yep.
And if somebody doesn't do that, then they're considered trash. You had CJ Stroud today throw for 350 some yards as a rookie.
No one's talking about that.
But he also had a turnover, He also had a turnover. So who's winning the game? How are they commanding their offense and moving the team, right? And do they limit their mistakes? Because mistakes are what kill quarterbacks.
Well, all the Cowboy haters, Dak only threw it for 100, and he didn't even throw for 150 yards. I said he didn't have to. What don't you understand?
He won 40-0. He threw for 150 yards. Come on.
What don't you? I said, yeah, he didn't make his first completion until almost the end of the first quarter. Yeah, see, he wasn't on the fucking field. You fucking morons. So there was a post I sent a while ago in the off season to my Cowboy hater friend Dave, comparing the first X starts of Dak versus Josh, and the records everything is almost identical. But he thinks Josh Allen is up here and Dak's down here. But when you look at stats, they're almost identical, including completions, percentage, interceptions, everything.
And Dak missed almost a whole season, 3 years ago?
Yeah, he missed 5 games last year. He missed a bunch before that.
I'm saying he almost missed a whole season. Like, he had to have his whole ankle reconstructed. So, I don't think that he deserves the hate that he gets. I think that he gets compared too much in Cowboy land to Tony Romo because of the playoff failures that the two of them had.
He's got a couple of wins. He beat, he forced.
He's got more than Romo does in the playoffs.
He forced Tom Brady into retirement. Don't forget that, folks. He forced Tom Brady into retirement. Remember that. I bring that up. And that's why, when everyone says, oh, well, Tony Romo lost in the game. And I'm like, so if Tony Romo brings them down to score with like a minute left, and then the defense gives up a big play and they lose to a field goal, is that Tony Romo's fault? They're like, well, yeah. Which is why one of the greatest sports shows on the internet said that it's the quarterback's fault for every loss. So there you go. That's why I now contend that and I can prove with every loss, pick a game, I can prove it was the quarterback's fault. And Dak almost had an interception today. We're not even going to talk about seats. Huh?
I said he did he?
He did. He threw it, and Sauce jumped the route and just didn't catch it. Sauce is, I can
He's a
argue
hell of a
Sauce.
player, Sauce Gardner.
He is, but there are some stats saying his sophomore year is not what it used to be.
He's not doing as well to start this season.
Yep.
People are attacking him more, actually.
Uh-huh.
They're going at him at a higher rate than they were last year so far. So,
yep. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, that would have given them the lead. They would have actually had the lead because they were down, and then or they were shut out, and then they did a huge big play to Garrett Wilson, and they were down, and then it was what was it 10-7, 13-7, whatever it was. And then if he had picked, that would have been a pick six, and they would have been actually had the lead. And that could have changed the entire game. But no, anyone we talk about is Dak threw an interception. So my Cowboy hater friend, who's got his top five, I keep saying, but he threw another interception. Allen would have had an interception today if the Raiders hadn't screwed that up and got a penalty on the play because they're idiots. So, anyways, moving on.
Did you watch that Chiefs and
I did.
Jacksonville game?
I did. That was a good game.
Damn, poor Trevor Lawrence, man. He had 3 touchdowns that they just couldn't keep feet in bounds. But then that one throw he had into the stands that he just sailed. I think it was Zay Jones again. Zay Jones was a make you guy today. So, I watched that whole game. But I felt bad for Trevor Lawrence because that's Carly's quarterback. I'll tell you this, Jeff. I'll make you excited. My tight end in fantasy is Pat Freiermuth, the Steelers tight end.
Steelers tight end, yep.
And he got knocked out last week. They thought he had to go through concussion protocol. Anyway, he's playing on Monday night, and he did catch a touchdown last week. But I watched in a game that did not see a lot of offensive scoring in the Cowboys-Giants game, for the Cowboys. Jake Ferguson had 7 targets. And I had picked him up before the game because I've been kind of following some things, and I heard what Dak said about him, and I waited a while to get tight ends. I'm just not totally sold on Freiermuth, and so I took him, sat him on my bench last week, and I saw he had the 7 targets. So there was some injury concern, concussion concern, all that with Freiermuth. So I went ahead and I put in the Dallas tight end today. And what did he do?
How'd that work for you?
First drive, he got me a touchdown, and I was like, yeah, let's go. So
yep.
There you go. So I have a Cowboy for you. All right.
There you go. You shouldn't. You're a Redskins fan, so you shouldn't have any. I tell Ray, you're a hater. Don't pick. I love how people. I hate the Cowboys, but I'm going to draft them in fucking fantasy. No, if you don't like the Cowboys, don't fucking draft them in fantasy. In fantasy, you will never see me with any of the 3 teams in the NFC East. Never. And when I played Madden, when I used to play Madden, I got a card, I'm like, who's this 99 Eagle? Fucking sell that for a penny. Get that fucking shit out of my binder. Fucking just sell it for a penny. Sell it for a fucking penny. Any of those. So
we missed the video now.
people comment on my picks, and they're like, "Why are you picking? Really, you're picking them over the Eagles?" I said, "Well, I'm never going to pick the Eagles. You're freaking stupid." And last year, they're like, "You have 4 numbers." I go, "Yeah, that last number is the games when the NFC East play each other because I don't give a shit. So I want both teams to lose. So those are games I don't even pick them because I don't give a shit. I want both teams to lose."
Oh God. All right.
There you go.
No more NFC East talk. We're getting serious here for a minute.
You know what? I did not hear about this. So tell me about this.
This wasn't a story in Canada at all?
Not one that crossed my desk.
Wow. All right. So this guy, Mark Dickey, he's a researcher. He's a cave researcher, right? And he was in Turkey, and he was exploring this cave that just like goes on and on and on and on and on forever. 4,000 feet down below, he gets stuck, and he can't get out. Like, he is stuck, and he thinks he's gonna die, Jeff. Like, I mean, they're counting down the days that he's gonna be able to live off the water. Hey, bye, Sierra. Everything else, and this team that they put together from Turkey. They go down there, and they were able to rescue him just in time. He was very malnourished. He was very injured, infection, the whole 9 you can imagine. Very dehydrated, of course, but he survived, and they were able to get him to the hospital. And of course, he's extremely thankful for the workers. And the question gets brought up, like, should these people be, because like one guy put however many other people in harm's way because they had to go rescue them. And before you say that's their job is to, save people. Yes. But this is a little extreme. This is special. There's some special concern that has to be taken in. So in Istanbul, which is in Turkey, like the college that's there, like all the professors were kind of getting together, joining up with the teams there from the national teams, and they came up with a plan to get them out. So it's crazy, man. I couldn't imagine going 4,000 feet down in a cave. Like, what are you gonna find down there? Jeff's OnlyFans. That's what you're gonna find down there.
Yeah. See, I'm a former rock climber, and I've climbed down.
But you climb rock. Did you go down in them?
I have. We've done some of that.
Okay. All right.
I have a video of me rappelling, which is quite funny. My brother and I were out climbing, and somebody said, "Hey, there's a little cave. When you get up to the top, you can go in and whatever." I'm like, "Oh, really? I didn't know that." All right. So I climbed up, and I tried. I don't see fuck all. What little cave? I don't see any cave. My brother's like, "Do you see anything?" I'm like, "I see squat." I didn't have my light either with me because we didn't bring the light, so I wasn't really expecting. But anyways, so I'm like, all right, whatever. Let me down. He goes, "Oh, we're stuck." And because I had moved over from where we had set the line, because I had shimmied over, it got wedged in a thing, right? So I was telling people this. They're like, "Oh my God, did you call 911?" I go, "No, that was the 150th thing on our list to try to do." My brother, he could tie me off. He could have gone and this and that. He could have gone up to the top. There was like 1,000 things we could have done prior to that, because again, we practice, we train, we talk about. Before I did that, we talked about what could happen. Getting stuck was one of them. Turns out all I had to do was climb up the rope a little bit and drop, and climb up and drop. Eventually, my weight versus rock, it gave way, and he let me down, and everything was good. But people are like, "Oh, did you call 911?" No, that was the last thing on our mind. So I often think, okay, what was the safety protocol that was used in here, and should he have been down that deep, and what kind of ropes was he using to go down 4,000 feet? I have a lot of questions about this. So, anyways, I have a lot more questions than you could probably answer from this tweet, and there's probably not even any story about my questions. But again, that's just my that's my take. Again, just from my, from our rock climbing and the little that we've done. There's things I know, and I'm like, well, I can see he's got a helmet, so that's good. I used to do some outdoor climbing with a buddy, and he wouldn't wear a helmet, and he goes, "I don't wear gloves," and I go, "Yeah, but you got two hands. You only have one head. You only have one head. If you banged your head on something, like, all right, whatever, buddy, it's your cranium. If I happen to hit my head on something, or if somebody up top who shouldn't be walking around up top kicked a rock and bet." So, anyways.
I just want to see you on a mountain, just like all strapped into your harness. You're just like overflowing from your harness. I want to see this rappelling video too, because I want to see how slick you come down. Because I have rappelled before, but not out of a cave. Didn't you tell me you used to do some free climbing, or did you tell me no?
Not that high.
Okay. All right. Still, 6 foot is, good enough.
All right. Who are you? What is your name?
I don't know. Not sure.
Well, here we go. X direct message. He's sending it to me. So the question is, can Ryzak, how fast can Ryzak put this into the power? The question is, how fast can Ryzak put this into the PowerPoint?
Oh man, I don't know if I can.
That would be.
Let's see.
That would be the I gotta send it from here. All right, hang on. I gotta send it from here. Pulling an audible here, folks. We're doing X direct message. What's your name? Ryzak. Okay, there you go. There we go. Okay. It's just a video, it's not a tweet. So I don't know if you can extract it. I don't know if you can just
well, I can check.
I don't know if I can excuse me, now that I've sent it to you, I can probably pull it up here and share the video.
I can certainly check.
I can't open this up in a new tab, can I? Why can't I open this up in a new tab?
Oh, hey, I can make it full screen.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, I don't know, Jeff. Something's all messed up with my screen right now. I got blacks and whites going on. That video you sent me was, oh, here we go. If I knew how to work my computer correctly, maybe that would help. I could put it on the whole screen. We can show it that way. Let's do that.
All right.
Let's do that, Jeff.
Okay.
Here we go.
When I make it full screen, I lose control of driving here. So.
Yeah.
I lose the ability of driving. Driving the. As our number.
All right, we're gonna make this. We're gonna make this happen.
As our number of viewers drops because of my.
You saying nobody likes us, Jeff? Is that what you're saying?
I know it's kind of late for everybody. Our show was either early or late.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna stop sharing this one.
Okay.
And then I will share the other one once I get that guy. So do that one. Here we go. Bear with me. We got this. Here we go, Jeff. Check it out. I didn't give you any audio though, so
that's all right.
All right. So this is you. Where is this, Jeff?
This is from June 2011. I think was the date. I think was the date on the video. Place called Rattlesnake Point in Milton, Ontario.
Rattlesnake Point. Oh! Get it under control. Under control.
Yeah, I'm actually at the top, and I actually leaped off. Can you go back to does it show? Maybe go back to the beginning. No, it doesn't. Yeah, he didn't capture the whole thing. I'm actually at the top, and then what I did was I jumped down, which is why it looked like I'd lost control, but I didn't. I was in full control of myself the entire time. But I was actually at the top, and then I jumped down.
You just got twisted.
Yeah. And then I'm
look at you all geared up, Jeff. You got the rock climbing shoes on. When's the last time you went
outdoors? It's been a few years. Pre-pandemic, we haven't been. Yeah, pre-pandemic, we would go. My brother and I would go, and we'd have sometimes it would be other people, sometimes it wouldn't. We sometimes.
What is all that on your back? What is in the red bag? You're just like extra gear, or
yeah.
Were you guys camping? Were you
hiking? No. It's all my trad gear. So it's all my clips. It's ropes. It's webbing. It's extra webbing.
And is that all yours? You own that, or were you using? Okay,
no, it's all mine.
So you invested into rock climbing.
Yes. Oh yeah. Because
Nice.
we were going like every weekend. And there's various other places we would go, and my brother, my sister-in-law would come, and we had a bunch of other friends that would come. And we had other people that don't know how. Like my brother and I took some courses to learn how to set the ropes. So we would go and we would say, okay, we'll meet you guys at 11, and then we would go at 10, and we would set the ropes, and then they would catch up to us because it would take some time to set the lines. And the place we went actually screwed stuff into the ground to make it easier to set the lines. But yeah,
you get the other climbers out there that go often. I know that I've been out on trails before, and people are helpful. People will help and guide, and
100%.
It's a big community, the rock climbing community. So
it is. Now we had a personal rule that unless we had set the line or we knew the person setting the line, we wouldn't climb on their lines. So sometimes someone would say, oh, that's kind of interesting climb. Can I climb it? We're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Like, oh, do you want to climb ours? We're like, we're going to pass because we don't know them. Right. We don't know how they set it. I'm sure it's fine. But that was a rule my brother and I had set with ourselves, that when we were doing this, we would not. That was our rules. It's not a rule. It's not anyone else's rule. Some other friends, oh yeah, we'll go climb your line. Go for it. But that was our rule. We made a decision. We weren't, and it never happened, but we did say once, well, if we could go up and inspect it and double check it ourselves, then we might do it. And we would always double check each other's. So I would set one, he would set it, and then we would go and double check each other's work. And then sometimes we'd be climbing with people who knew how to set lines, and we'd say, "Go ahead and check our work. Don't take our word for it. Go and check it." Some people didn't know what they were doing, so they didn't bother. But sometimes we'd be climbing with some experienced climbers or guys that taught us or whatnot.
So do you have like a belay on you? Are you like self-belaying as you're coming down? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Because there's no spotter, so you didn't have anybody belaying you.
I think I just went with a normal gree on that one. I think I just
that's what took into the waist right there.
Yeah. I think I just went with the normal gree on that one. But I also have other clips and things that you could use. On the belay down.
Oh, there's so many different areas that you might need. Different things. You might need a quick connect. You might need something to stay locked in. I mean,
correct.
There's just different scenarios, I guess is what I wanted to say.
That is correct. We did mostly top roping because it was only my brother and I that were really lead or trad trained. None of the other people we usually climbed with were. Some of the more experienced guys were who they were younger and better than us. Because again, my brother and I were both in our 40s doing this, right? And we'd be climbing with guys in their 20s. Eugene used to always go ice climbing. He still does. I still see on Facebook they post pictures. They still do a lot of climbing.
That's awesome.
And stuff like that and that. But I haven't done it since pre-pandemic, I guess.
Well,
they
I
opened
think it's
up
time that you need to get back out there.
I keep saying that. I just don't have the time. I keep saying I'm going to go and
trust me, man. If anybody's going to sit here and talk about not having time, I feel you. Feel you.
Yep.
So, but it'll get better, I think.
But I do want to. Anyways, we get back into the show. Back to the show. Uh-oh. What happened?
There it is. It came in. All right. So the cave. Yep. So the rescue. So he got rescued. So good news. Good news. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we talked last week about the FIBA International Basketball Championships. Shout out to Canada for getting the third place over the USA. Dylan Brooks was having the game of his life in that one, it looked like. And right after that, there was a lot of controversy. There was a lot of talk and a lot of people saying that, some of these stars that the USA has need to come out and play. And right away, on cue, here we go. LeBron James, who else? Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum, Draymond Green. I mean, Kyrie, Damian Lillard, Devin Booker. I mean, okay. All right. We get it. Here's my problem with this, Jeff. And I wish Purple Haze was feeling a little bit better because this would be a great conversation to have with her.
And Crow, I'd like to know Crow's up. Oops, we're getting the feedback from the thing here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to know Crow's opinion.
Crow likes basketball too. I feel, and this is maybe just me personally, that if you are going to play for your country, then you commit to that process. Now, granted, there are circumstances, injury, schedule, things like that. I get it. But to be able to pick and choose when you want to play against the world's best doesn't sit right with me because it almost looks like it makes us look very inferior. I'm going to be quite honest because it makes it look like there's only a couple of players that can beat anybody else in the world. And that's not to say that you throw this group out there together and they're going to do it. Chances are, if history shows us anything, they've got a good chance to. But I have a problem with the kind of buy-in, buy-out thing. Oh, I'm tired. If you're going to play for your country, you play for your country, and you play for your country until you're done. You don't retire from playing for your country and then be like, oh shit, nobody else can do it, so I'm going to come back. I don't like it. How does that matter to you at all? Am I blowing this out of proportion?
No, my problem is, what were the Olympics supposed to be? Amateurs.
Yes, that's what it was supposed to be at first.
Right? And that's what it was for, 100 years? It was always amateurs. Then they started letting in some professionals. That's my problem with it. Stick to the amateurs. Stick to the college kids. Stick to whomever, right? Professional gymnasts. Is there such a thing?
Yeah.
They don't perform. They don't, come out from that and do that, right?
Yeah.
So that's
like I said, there are circumstances I understand.
All of your points are the same. Like when the dream team back in the day, like that was completely unfair, just completely unfair. That when Michael and LeBron and coached by Coach K. Wait, where did he coach?
Coach. Oh, you're talking about the latest one.
No. Back in the where did he coach?
It was Chuck Daly. Chuck Daly coached the Dream Team. Krzyzewski coached LeBron and Melo and Kobe in 08.
Team, wasn't it? And where did he? Where was he the head? Where was he the head coach of? I forget.
Duke.
Oh, right. Speaking of Duke, that
had to get that in there, did you?
That great kid is going like. Anyways, yes. Well, so that's that. So I agree with all of your points. I completely agree with all of your points.
Well, here let me continue on off of what I was saying here, because this next story kind of goes along with that, because the NBA has approved a new rule to where 2 stars can't sit in the same game. So let's take this picture for example. Kawhi and Paul George are not going to be allowed to sit out the same game unless they are actually injured and out for that much time, right? And part of people opting out of playing in the Olympics, part of them opting out of playing in this World Basketball Championship, is that if they're late playoff push teams like LeBron's teams have been historically, he's playing up to 40 more games more than everybody else, right? The body just breaks down. I get it. Totally understand. That is acceptable. But once you opt out, you shouldn't get to opt back in, and the players were using these kind of fake me out injury causes to be able to get rest days. And then you've got people like, you and me that, I might want to take my kids to go watch LeBron James play. And when I get there, he's sitting on the bench because he's having a rest day. And I just spent $500 going to watch what I really didn't want to watch. You know what I mean? So it's just a bad look, and it makes, I don't know. I think it makes us look inferior. So, so be it, but that's what they're doing.
Yeah. I think it should be the amateurs.
Yeah.
Back to what, that's what the Olympics were about.
Yeah. But, and I mean, let the college players play. They should be just as good as anybody else in the world. Let them play.
Yep. Exactly.
All right. Hey, this was big news that dropped on Monday, right? And you've been all over this story. Unity, which is a tool, correct me where I'm wrong, Jeff, but it is a tool used by developers to create a lot of the games that are out there on the scene right now. They were implementing some new price increases to call it what you want, get more money, make more profit. But what they were doing is they were alienating 10% of their developer pool, which is about 25,000 developers. And it was going to make it cost more for them to publish their games and to see their games through than the revenue that they were going to make back. So this has led to a lot of backlash. It's saying here, like the devs aren't on, not on the hook for the Game Pass games, yada, yada, yada. But this blew up, right? This blew up. It pissed off a lot of people. Our community friend Joe is now moving on to, another engine to use, and etc. And so Unity tried to come out and be like, hey, we know that you're, we acknowledge it. You're frustrated, but it's not as bad as you think it is. Okay. It's not as bad as what everybody says it is. Exactly. Like if you have to explain this much, then it's not right.
That's a lot of words. That's a lot of text. That is just a lot of words.
And then now breaking news this afternoon from our great friend Crow Resin. Now they're kind of backing off, and they're being, hey, we're going to put this on pause real quick so we can look into it some more.
and what we didn't put in is there was a lot of companies going, you know what, we're pausing our development because we're looking at what it's going to take to port our game over to Unreal or
hey,
something.
That's why I wanted to give Joe the shout out, because that's exactly what he's now taking his indie dev career and gonna go a different direction. Because
I keep meaning to message him because I think he should build it in Unreal because then whatever he builds, it would be an easy port to Fortnite. He could then have a Fortnite version. You know? So, and I think there's going to be little startups that are going to pop up very quickly of people who are going to write some stuff and help you convert your Unreal to or your Unity to Unreal or something. What happened?
I have no idea.
Did it crash? There we go.
I got it. And we're back.
So there we go.
There we go.
Yeah. So anyways, yes, this is...
We're live.
All right. So what did Crow say? The dev for Falconer is already changing his next game to be Unreal as well. Yeah, there you go. I saw various...
And let's all... Shout out Tomas. I'm pretty sure you say it Tomas real quick, the developer there of the Falconer. He's very upfront and vocal throughout his development process. I appreciate his transparency and what he was showing his new game that he's been working on and all of the different points that pick up. I mean, just that's the stuff I don't know about. It's really cool to see that. I really think it's cool that he puts that stuff out there.
Yep, I agree. And when he was on Stadia, he was very open about the money. He was open about the process and the money within his, NDA and what he was allowed to say. So there's a few, I've seen a few, I didn't keep track of all of them. I saw a bunch of them this week. People saying, now, are they going to continue to switch? Probably, even though Unity is going, oh, hold on. But, they, once, what's the saying? Once bitten, twice shy, or twice shy, once bitten, whatever that is. The Great White song. Crow, help me with the Great White song.
Once bitten, twice shy.
There you go. So because they may come, they may
that Motley Crue.
No, Great White.
Who's great? White Snake. Great White.
Yep.
Great White. You would know. You were alive more.
I was. Crow's here. Crow's here. He'll fact check me. So yeah, there you go. So we'll this was breaking news tonight. Earlier tonight, Crow sent this to me, and I'm like, this is great for the show. Perfect timing, Crow. So that was my response to him all. Yep. So there you go.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Jim Martin is here. What are you two doing up this late? Well, it's especially since you guys no one knows this, but I got to go to the hospital at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning with my dad. But anyways, that's another.
No,
story.
They don't. Yeah, and I got work. But wanted to wanted to end the day with you all. That's really what it was. Jeff, I think we'll see more stuff like this.
Yes, we will.
In this pay to play, this pay scale model, this world that we live in. These people have to try to figure out ways to make money too. Like not everything can just be a pat on the back. So I think we'll see more stuff from this. I think if you start to see anything happen with Unreal and Epic, that's when you really need to start being concerned. But that's just me because I live here.
What was I going to say? It's all about the money. It's they're
always.
The everybody wants their slice of the pie. It's rumored that GTA 6 is going to cost $2 billion. I know I've discussed it with SPG, and he's like, "How can that be?" I'm like, "Well, things cost more money now. It costs a lot of money. You got staff, you got artists, you got this, you got them. You got everything. Everybody wants it in the cloud, but nobody ever thinks about how much it costs to be in the cloud. Go sign up for AWS and go and find out how much things actually cost. It costs a lot of money to store all your crap in the cloud, and so $2 billion. I think that's cheap, given everything else that's going on in the world. So
everything increases in price.
Jim had said that he hopes I'm drinking decaf. Hot apple cider from Bennett's. Hot apple cider from Bennett's, Jim. Okay, I'm empty now, but that's so there you go. Anyways, that's all we got. Unity. We'll see what happens. This is an ongoing story. There's more to come.
It is ongoing. Oh yeah, because it's just basically paused right now, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, we talked earlier. Crow had mentioned the poor Jets and Aaron Rodgers, and there was a bar in Wisconsin because there's a lot of Aaron Rodgers fans in Wisconsin still. A lot of people are hurt because of the move. Some people are mad at the Packers that he moved, but either way, there's still people that are just Aaron Rodgers fans. And so, a bar in Wisconsin ran a promo. Oh my God, Jeff. That drinks would be free if the Jets lose, kind of like a smack in the face to Aaron Rodgers. We hope he loses, and all you all can drink free to watch it happen. Well, Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and everybody ran up their tab, and there were thousands of dollars in tab, and the bar owner is freaking out, like, oh my God, like this backfired in my face. And then the Jets pulled the game out at the end there and beat the Bills and one of Josh Allen's interceptions and all that jazz. So the bar owner's like, yes, because they all had to pay their tabs. But just, again, unfortunate the injury that happened to him. But this is just a crazy story that kind of came out of that. So I didn't know if you had heard this one.
Oh, I heard this. Yeah, I saw it was all over TikTok. It was all over. And then just following up on that, we don't have any of the clips, but he had his surgery this week. And apparently I saw I didn't actually see the clip, but apparently he said on the Pat McAfee show that he's coming back. Now, somebody fact checked me. I think it was Austin Eckler had an Achilles injury, and he came back the quickest of any professional athlete, 5 months. So if Rodgers did that, what happens in 5 months today? It's the Super Bowl. Now, of course, my Jets loving son, he said, really, if we get to the Super Bowl, really going to put him in? He also said, and again, I don't know where fact versus fiction is on this, that he listens to dolphins having sex, and that helps him recover faster.
In his dark cave.
Speaking of injuries.
I was trying to segue you right there, Jeff. Look at that. Look at that.
Speaking of injuries, the greatest baseball player of this year, because he both pitches and hits. Because wasn't that Bo Jackson? He pitches and hits. Is injured.
Yep. And so we were talking a little bit earlier about this, and I hate to be the conspiracy theorist guy, but I have to question things in professional sports sometimes, because if it's happened once, it'll happen again.
Sure.
We talked a couple of weeks ago about the Angels basically trading, letting go, selling all of their players. It was like a fire sale, like a dumpster fire sale, right? So that all these players could hook up with teams to get into the playoffs, yada yada, because they're not going to make it. He is arguably their best player now. You could also make an argument for Mike Trout, right? He's been hurt more recently, but Shohei is the ticket right now, right? Yep. Could they have shut him down? He could maybe be tweaked or something, but versus risking more injury, shut him down. We're not winning this year. It's going to help us get a better draft pick. Go sit down. Like, do you think that could be a case?
No, because they're professional athletes. They want to win. Everyone talks about the Cardinals tanking to get Caleb Williams. There's no tanking. There's no tank. Look what happened with the Bears, and look what happened with them last year. Ended up with the number 1 pick, and everyone thought other teams were tank. They don't tank. I think there are rules that if they misrepresent injuries, that's why they have injury reports, and they have to put everybody on there so there's full transparency. So I don't think they can get away with saying he's injured and he's not really injured, that they're really just resting him. And I also saw some tweets saying there's rumors that he might get traded to Boston. So
and again, there you go. It's one of those big teams. Rich get richer, man. Here you go.
Yeah, well, they're stinking it up right now. Although they played really well the other night against them. They played really well yesterday against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, you were watching that game, weren't you? I think you were.
I was watching it with my dad. It went into 12 innings. Yeah. Are we going to talk about Ohtani's free agency prospects? Well, we just kind of did, Jim.
There you go.
He could end up. He could end up. Maybe he could be a Blue Jay.
I was going to say, I think Toronto would be a nice city for him. I think that he would be warmly embraced.
Oh, he would. We warmly embrace everybody. We love everybody.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said that. Said that.
Yeah. So be interesting to see if he's, maybe he's not really hurt. Yeah. Or maybe he's just tweaked.
He's a hell of a player, man. I hope that it's not anything that changes the way he plays as hot as he's been. I think back to golf and Tiger Woods and what Tiger did there, so dominant, so young, and it was you just every week he played, it was Tiger's going to win this one time. You just get that feeling, right? When he steps up to the plate or when he steps on the mound, you get that same feeling, he's going to hit another homer, or he's going to go another complete game shutout. he's just amazing. He's amazing to watch. He's so calm too. So
yep.
Yeah, somebody's going to strike big with him.
Yep. We'll see. Yep. Who knows? We'll see. But I think he is injured. I don't think they would do that otherwise, because they have some ethics and there's some rules, I think, and there could be fines and who knows? Well, maybe it'll come out. Who knows? Uh-oh. Did we lose Ryzak? Squids is here. Yes, it is late for all of us. I know Squids does the late night shows. And Ryzak has gone. It's just me. Woo! Yes, it's very late. How you doing, Ryzak? I mean, not Ryzak. How you doing, Squids? Squids, are you playing? You streaming? You streaming later? Every time I go to curl up in bed, there is Squids streaming. So there you go. One thing we are going to talk about, Colorado. That game last night, I didn't get a chance to apologize to Ray. I was playing on Ray's RecFest stream, and then it went into out of regulation, and then I just kind of left because I found out I had my bit rate too low. Oh no, a lot more clearer now. All right, a lot more clear. Oh, Ryzak is back.
My computer just crashed. I just got a blue screen.
Nice.
You gotta like that.
A lot more clear now, so hopefully more people. All right. I was just talking to Squids. Squids has found out his bit rate was too low. I don't know why. You're doing something. Your audio is messed up.
Mine?
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like you're who plays Letterman and who plays Leno on this late night show. He's got the beard, so I guess he has to be Letterman, although I like Letterman over Leno. Let me unmute him now. All right, is that better? Sound better? You're out of the fish tank? Ryzak? You're not out of the fish tank? You can talk. I unmuted you. You can talk now. You can move your lips. There you go. No, you don't want to move your lips? Are you on your phone? Is he on his phone? Oh, Larry Bud Melman. Whatever happened to him? I remember Chris Elliott was just he came on for some skit, then he became a regular. Then he was on the Schitt's Creek. So I can hear you. I can hear you moving your phone. Move your lips. Talk.
Hear me at all? You can't hear me at all, can you?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, a little bit. Are you on your phone?
Maybe you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Someone type in the chat. We can hear him. You don't hear me? Oh, all right. Well, there you go. So anyways, I'm going to tell my story while he sorts that out. So last night I was playing with Ray, and then Colorado was down a bunch, 12 points, 17 points at one point. And then they came back and they tied it. And Ray had some technical issues. And at that point, I just kind of dropped out. And it was also 2 a.m. So I wanted to watch the double overtime victory. I think I tweeted Crow at one point, and I said, Colorado 2 overtimes, and they pulled it off in 2 overtimes. So Colorado and Dion is 3-0 to start the season, taking a team that was 1-12 last year. Now I got double Ryzak. Oh, man. Nope, shaking his head. Who knows what's going on?
Still can't freaking hear you.
Well, we can hear you. That's all that matters.
Technology, man. Technology.
Even Jim says we can hear him. So yeah. And then, of course, earlier, the Colorado State coach says, I was raised that when I talk to someone, they take off their hat and sunglasses. So then Dion went out and bought the entire team sunglasses. And I guess everybody's been buying those sunglasses, $1 million worth from the sunglass company. And then it looked like they were going to get the last laugh, but then they came back and tied it. Here's a question. Ryzak can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me now. I was just telling the story about Colorado. Which is the better Sanders' son, the quarterback or the cornerback with the pick 6? In that game.
Yeah. And you watched that game, Jeff?
I did.
So did you see that he almost had a pick like 3 plays before the pick, right?
Yes.
So he had that one that he like scooped up off the ground they wound up saying it touched the ground. And then a few plays later, he has the pick six for the touchdown. So yeah. And Deion was talking about him afterwards. Did you see Deion racing down the sideline with him? Still got it. He's still got it.
And he was high stepping like his dad when he was running down the field. He was doing the high stepping like dad. And so I
have those next from this. This was just a crazy score that I wasn't sure if anybody had seen. Oregon beats Portland State 81-7 that first week, and then Portland State turns around the next week and wins 91-0. Like, what a all-time flip of scoring.
Yeah.
So that was crazy, but this was your Colorado, right, Deion? 3-0. Sorry, I'm going fast. You talked about the sunglasses.
Yeah.
And then there was this hit.
I hadn't gotten to this yet. He hadn't got trapped. Yeah. He got hit, got taken to the local hospital. So yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So he's going to be out a couple of weeks. This, we talked about him after that first week. He played both sides of the ball every play. He's a big piece of their team.
Yeah.
Just an unnecessary hit. I don't want to call it dirty or anything like that. It was a pretty amped up game before they were pushing each other, before the start of the game.
Yeah.
But it's just an unfortunate hit. It didn't need to happen. The ball wasn't even in his hands. It was second or two after the play happened. Just doesn't need to happen. So, all right. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. I don't know what happened. My computer went blue and had to restart. So,
there you go. No big deal.
It said it had to figure something out. But we're back.
I just kept going. And now we're getting to the end.
We're getting to the end. So, it's now time for 5 guesses. And Jeff, you have no idea what this is today. And so I am going to I'm gonna go back a little bit. Okay. When we first started out doing this, we had a top 10 list to choose from, and then we had to guess against it. So you're gonna kind of do that today. And I'm just feeling like Canada needs some love today, Jeff. So today, for your 5 guesses, I want you to tell me 5 of the top 10 inventions by Canadians.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, go ahead and give me one. I'll tell you if it's in the top 10.
Let's go with the telephone.
The telephone.
Alexander Graham.
It is not in the top 10. Not in the top 10. I should let you know that this list is done by CBC Television, Jeff. So whatever that means to you, maybe I should have told you that beforehand.
Well, this is I'm throwing a flag. This is the bullshit. How can the telephone?
Hey man, I'm just telling you what the list says. Okay, it maybe not the biggest inventions. Might just be smaller inventions. These are just the top 10 inventions by Canadians.
Jim has 9 right off the top of my head, and they ain't the telephone. Where would we be without the telephone? The greatest invention of the 20th century was the movable print, was the movable type. Like, it's still up there as top inventions of all time. Where would we be?
What the list says.
Where would penicillin?
Penicillin is on the list, Jeff.
Oh, dear God. Thank God. I spoke too soon. Can you say that again?
Penicillin is on the list, Jeff. All right, I'll do it again. Penicillin is on the list, Jeff. It's on there. Good job.
The phone not on the list.
Jeff, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Alexander Graham Bell used to come to America a lot. Maybe they got confused. All right. Let's go, Jeff. Third guess of your top 10 inventions by Canadians.
I have not. Jim has 9. I'm gonna have to call him. Jim, do you want to come? Jim, do you want to dial in? I can send you the. I can. Are
you Googling it?
No,
you're Googling that list, aren't you? I shouldn't have told you where it came from.
I'm actually not. I actually sent Jim a private message with the link to the chat if he wanted to the stream, if he wanted to jump. That's actually that. All right.
You just want him to take this for you. Come on, Jeff.
Basketball.
You're a handyman, Jeff. Oh, basketball is on the list. Dr. James Naismith. Good job, Jeff.
But no telephone.
You want to know where that? Do you want to know where basketball is on the list, Jeff?
Where's the other one first?
Basketball's number 10.
What's penicillin?
Penicillin, Jeff, is number 7.
Yet another reason why I don't like CBC.
Okay.
All right.
Well, there you go.
All right. Fine. From my,
he said no one wants to see me in curlers.
You know what? I don't have one.
I do want to see that.
It's all in the other room. I am gonna go with our good friends over at Research in Motion because they invented the pager.
The pager is number 3, Jeff. Great job.
And why is it the telephone? I'm still pissed off about the telephone.
I don't know, dude.
This is really got me up. This is really this is all right. Fine. Because it was the biggest movie of the year, Barbenheimer. I am going to, and because I grew up, I didn't grow up. I lived in Mississauga, which was right down the street from their worldwide headquarters in Sheridan Park in Mississauga. IMAX.
Jeff. That is right. That's number 8.
I know. You can't use a pager without a telephone. Why isn't the telephone? This is burning at my.
I love it. All right, Jeff, you got one more, I think. We're going to go one more anyway. You can't even freaking use a pager without a telephone. Oh. All right, Jeffy, come on, concentrate. You got this.
So there are, I think we've talked about it in an earlier show, how there are little snippets of Canadian history. And they've talked about all sorts of various little things, those little historical moments, whatever the hell they're called. I think Ricky mentioned it once or twice on here. And when they started playing hockey, they invented the cup first, and then it took another 100 years before Jacques Plante or whoever it was invented the goalie mask, proving that, they were protecting one part and not the most important part, but whatever. There's a joke in there somewhere, or TikTok or something out there, but I think I want to say it was Jacques Plante, but it might not have been, but it was at least, I think, someone on the Montreal Canadiens who invented the goalie mask.
So the goalie mask, Jeff, is on the list, but it's not in the top 10. It's number 11.
Oh, my dear God.
And you freaking nailed it, dude. You got Jacques Plante. You got everything. Like you.
Well, again, it's those little historical
Jeff.
Moments. I remember that,
Yeah.
I remember the
I
little,
like it.
Maybe
I like
the
you
phone
see what
doesn't
Jim
count
says
because
now.
the patent is in the U.S. Still
I
invented.
told you visited the U.S. a lot. Maybe that's
but
what
it was still invented by a Canadian.
All
That'd be like, but didn't James Naismith invent basketball at a U.S. school?
I thought it was up north.
No. I thought
it was above your line. Well, let's go through this. So basketball was number 10. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Number 9 is the pacemaker.
Nice. I'm going to need one of those.
Number 8 was IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, penicillin. Mm-hmm. Number 6, the Wonder Bra.
Interesting. I thought penicillin would have been higher. Thought that would
number
have been
5 is Number 5 is road lines.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Canadians invented road lines?
Did not.
Okay, well, there you go. It was the first road lines in the world were painted on a stretch of highway between Ontario and Quebec in 1930. There you go. Number 4, Jeff, is peanut butter.
Interesting.
Number 3 is the pager. And now for the top 2, Jeff. This is going to blow your mind. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is the garbage bag. Jeff, number 1. The number 1 Canadian invention, Jeff. This is something that you love to use, okay? You've actually been kind of famous for using
Does
one
anyone know how to play the offensive line? Speaking of a 20-something Patriots fan. Speaking of something of a 20 Patriots fan. Wait, Crow says, wait, the Wonder Bra was before penicillin?
Yeah, Wonder Bra. Woo, woo.
Wait, so you're saying Wonder Bra was
I haven't even gotten to number 1 yet, man.
Well, because I don't care what it is. It's obviously a crappy list. So just so you know, CBC is the Canadian Broadcasting. It is the government pays for it. It's the national TV. The other one, CTV, and others are privately owned. This is the one that's government funded.
Those lines are meant to keep.
Those lines are kept to Terry and
This list sucks. Tell me how you really feel. All right, Jeff. The number 1 Canadian invention.
Pablum?
The number 1 Canadian invention is the paint roller. Congratulations, Canada. You've made a lot of contractors' lives so much easier. And there you have it, Jeff. There's your 5 guesses. Oh, I'm much sillier this time of night than I am at
oh my God.
That
is the crappiest list. How is the Wonder Bra above?
Hey,
I was going in order. The phone, penicillin, and then you were like, the phone's not on the list. I'm like, how the hell? And then you just.
Oh my God.
I just went with easy. I just went with the easy stuff. I was scared.
His first guess was the phone, and the phone wasn't on the list, but the pager was on the list. And then Crow said, "You need a phone to use a pager." Oh, that's the best line of the night. But we're out of here.
Like, I was so excited. I'm like, I got number 1. It's the phone. I got it. It's like, that's it. I'm number 1. And I'm sitting. Crow makes the.
It's the paint roller. Sorry. But thank you for the trash bags. That was it.
When was that invented? When was that? Does it say when that was invented?
The garbage bag was invented in Winnipeg in 1950.
What the hell were you people doing? I got to ask my
garbage bag was invented by Harry Wazlik and Larry Hansen.
Now I have to ask my dad. What the hell were you people putting your garbage in the 40s?
The green polyethylene garbage bag they invented was bought by Union Carbide, who sold the bags under the name Glad.
Yep. Yeah. So, Doc, because of Ryzak schedule, we moved the show from Saturday mornings to Sundays at 10 after, most of the football games. So, what's Crow say? Alexander invented the telephone in Brantford, Ontario, Canada in July of 18. Yes.
I don't know, man. I'm just telling you what.
There's a phone company named after him. We have a national phone company named after him. Bell, Canada. Bell.
I'm just saying, man.
Winnipeg, home of the garbage bag. That
I
says
told
a lot,
you number 11 was the goalie mask. Do you know what number 12 was?
At this
you
point,
wouldn't.
No.
It was pablum.
Oh, I said pablum. When you said number 1, I said pablum.
Well, it wasn't in the top 10, but
neither was the phone.
Number 14 was the Java programming language. Jeff, you should.
Again, I went with all the easy ones.
Number 15, the electric wheelchair. Jeff.
Oops.
The wireless radio transmission was number 16, Jeff.
I was thinking about that, but I was thinking about that one too. But you got me all kerfluffled with the. I was all discombobulated with the phone. I didn't think with.
You know what else is on this list? I was scared
with wire.
Archie is on this list, Jeff.
Archie Comic? Archie? Who the hell's Archie? Archie Comic?
The first internet search engine, Archie.
Is there a date on this?
Let's see. What is the date on this? The date is 2017 on this list, Jeff. 2017.
Might have to appear as a special guest sometime. Yeah.
Yeah.
What number was insulin?
7.
And the Wonder Bra was 4?
But it wasn't insulin, it was penicillin. Or it wasn't penicillin, it was insulin. That's what it was. You said penicillin, it's actually insulin.
It's actually insulin.
But it's like
we invented penicillin too.
I can't believe basketball is number 10.
And we also invented pasteurization. Louis Pasteur. I was going to say that too. I have a question. So Jim, you said you had 9, not counting the telephone. What did you have any of those?
Did you have?
Did you have any of those? Did you have garbage bag? What? Crow, what? Jim, what? That's you know why I wanted to call Jim in for like I did purple last week. I was going to call Jim in because clearly I'm a bad guess if paint roller was number 1 and garbage bag was above insulin and penicillin wasn't even on the list.
Hold on, Jeff. I got a dog scratching at the door here.
So it's just like, no, I'm kind of wondering. Jim, I don't know how the hell I'm going to edit this freaking thing together. I'm going to bring my laptop to the office.
Good luck. You've missed 2 weeks anyway. What's a third?
Yes, Standard Time was invented by Sir Sanford Fleming as a college name. This invention created the International Time System that is still used today. That is correct.
Unbelievable.
Correct. We can come up with our own list of top inventions. And Wonder Bra would not
Beaver tails? Beaver tails?
Snowblower was invented in 1927. And he's got.
That's a pretty good invention. Yeah, he said IMAX. He did say IMAX.
I did say IMAX.
IMAX was on the list. It was like number 8.
Yeah, I said that. I said
Pacemaker
IMAX.
was on there. Yep, Pacemaker's on there.
Yep.
Yeah, electric wheelchair was in there. So
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but insulin and penicillin and pasteurization. Do you drink milk? You're welcome. We pasteurize milk. Louis Pasteur, I believe. Somebody Crow. I think that's correct. Somebody
says all of those are better than the garbage bag. What a great list. I have the best lists. I'm so good at this section. Beaver Tails and Wonder Bra belong on a different show. Late nights with Ryzak and Jeff and Coffee Talk.
What's that say? What can I get rid of?
Oh, that's great.
Foghorn, squared sockets. I was thinking the Robertson screwdriver.
I hate square screws.
I was thinking the Robertson. I was thinking the Robertson screwdriver.
Oh, they're so awful.
I was thinking about that. You guys.
Every time I get a bag that has square tips, I curse loudly.
Oh,
Louis was French.
Oh, really? It wasn't Canadian?
Louis.
Was it? He was not. He was not Canadian. Oh, all right. Well, Jim would know.
Oh man,
Jim would know. I get Jim. Well,
oh
God, what a shitty.
This
list.
Was a this was a good show.
It was a good way to end.
But it could have been better. It could have been better, and
could've-
by
it
could have
could've-
been better, it's going to be better next week
You could have
because
got a better.
it
Could
was
have got
kind
a
of a
better
weird
list.
weekend.
Could have got a better
Well, it was
list.
kind of a weird weekend with my anniversary and everything. So we were kind of meeting this afternoon for the first time, kind of throwing our stuff against the wall. But again, as we've shared, I mean, we share stuff with each other throughout the week. So I mean, we've got the content. We just got to put it all together. And so this weekend was just a little different, but it'll be all gravy, baby. I like this time though because look, I mean, we got Doc to join.
We got
us,
Doc
so
to
that
show
in
up. I know.
itself
I
is,
know.
a victory. I mean, yeah, everybody
Doc,
else is great too.
8 o'clock
except
tomorrow.
for Crow resident is damn fact checking my awesome list.
Crow. What's his name? Doc. Tomorrow night, Crow. Ray and I are doing Gotham Nights. We're just killing it. We are killing it, literally in the the heroic assault.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah.
So you got let's talk about your week coming up. So Monday you got Gotham Nights. Wednesday you doing anything?
Of course, I'll be doing something. I don't know what.
Okay. And then Friday you'll do some retro.
Because Party Animals is coming out, so maybe we'll do some Party Animals. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll do the game that you guys are playing. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll get back into driving trucks. Maybe we won't.
Speaking of Crow, we're gonna find some time this week because I wanna jump back in there with you. If you don't know what we're talking about, Crow and I bought a game called Sunken Land on Steam. It's kind of like what is that game? The Deep. What the
Stranded.
game?
Stranded Deep.
Stranded. Thank you, Jeff. Jeez, I was thinking like Into the Deep, Stranded Deep. It's kind of like that, but it's nice. It's nice. Yeah. It's a nice little game. So I'm gonna play some more of that, and then I got hockey. Hockey's gonna be starting next weekend, Jeff. First game's next weekend. So schedule's gonna get crazy and get all ramped up soon, and it'll be good. Jeff, who the Cowboys got next week?
Oh, it's gonna be a toughie. Arizona.
Josh Dobbs MVP.
And Brian Cobbs. Brian Cobbs is gonna.
Don't you bring up Brian Cobbs' name in vain, okay? Don't do that.
He may have shown up or something.
That's my guy.
Thought he might have shown up. There on TikTok. All these women are interested in football now because of Allison Cooch. You have no idea who she is, do you?
I do, but I find that most women that watch football nowadays know exactly who Travis Kelce is, don't they?
Because he's dating Taylor Swift.
Well, now he is, but I mean, a lot of them just liked him because he's a handsome guy. So
I think, yep. It was funny because Allison Cooch, if you don't know, is married to an NFL player, and he started making TikToks, and then everyone kept sending him messages going, you really got to change your name. You really got to change your name. You can't be like, you got to be Cooch because that's your name. And if you're living in Arizona or you're living in this country, this state, and you're not using your real name, you could get into trouble. And and all these women now all of a sudden care about football because of this.
Isaiah Cochell.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, it's hilarious. And someone commented, they're going, shouldn't you be reading the playbook instead of instead of making TikToks? He goes, you know what? This takes me 5 minutes a day. I can take 5 minutes.
He's on the Raiders right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think
he is. He's bouncing between practice and active. I think he was active last week. I don't know about. I don't remember today. I had the games on, but I had the sound from all 3 games. If you go back and watch my video, so I was kind of bouncing around on the games and stuff like that. So, I thought women on TikTok were talking about. No, they're talking about the Roman Empire. They are, and they're also talking about girl math. So.
Yes, my daughter was talking about girl math this season.
Does your daughter, can we call it girl? Yes. How can we call it girl math? Should we not be calling Jim? Can we call it girl math? Is that not?
My daughter called it girl math. I'm just telling you what my daughter said.
Oh, I know.
She had to buy a ticket. She had to buy a ticket, and then her grandmother gave her $50. So she used her girl math to say, "I only paid $5 for my ticket." It's like, no, you paid $55 for your ticket. You just happened to get $50, but you didn't only pay $5 for your ticket. But she said, "No, it's girl math. I only paid $5 for my ticket." Okay, all right.
Yep. It's true. She should make a TikTok explaining that to you.
Right? Yeah. Oh golly.
Tell Riley to make a TikTok with you standing there going, "That's not how it works," but okay.
So, not at all. So
there you go.
Well,
all right, it is 11:43.
Jeff, this was great. Thank you for the time change and just chatting it up all day with me.
And thanks everybody who showed
Hopefully
up.
everybody likes the new layout of the slides, and trying to always evolve as we go. So yeah, there you go. There's a little look at it there. We'll be back next week, 10 p.m. Eastern time. It's gonna be a good one.
Yepper.
Got some good topics already to start talking about last week.
Great show.
Yeah, Crow. That's what I'm talking about. Give us some love to the list, baby.
Worst list ever.
Love to the list.
Can I make a request? Can you fact check with Crow all of your lists from now on? Anytime you have these lists, can you run them by Crow first and have Crow vet the list first for accuracy?
Hey, he gave me no rankings. He just told me inventions from Canadians. So that's not fact checking anything. That's just telling me more stuff, which I had.
He was telling you better inventions than the garbage bag and the paint roller.
It's not my list. You talk to the CDC or CBC or whoever they are.
Oh, I will. I'll be taking it up with them. Let me tell you.
Oh, my goodness.
Let me tell you. Thanks, folks.
Jeff,
Thanks
you have
for
a
watching.
good night.
See you guys on
Bye, everybody.
X. I'll see you guys on the T2 Social. I will see you guys on the Blue Sky. Jim is big on the Blue Sky now. So, of course, on the Threads. Of course, on the X. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will be streaming. Everybody is welcome to play, and we will see you
later.